I am $80,000 in high interest debt.
Nice.
Ouch. Howdy, Fi guys. I need some guidance. I am a 27-year-old male living in Ohio.
Ohio.
Ohio. A wild place, I hear.
I hear so. So do I, based off what I see on Instagram.
Indeed. I am. I've been a full commission worker for several years. I've made a lot of money young, thinking my industry would stay stable, but I was ignorant and gullible, which led me here. Due to markets and my previous company stealing from me, living situations, and my poor choices, I have $80,000 plus in high interest debt and then some. I've been playing a balancing act for over 2 years, trying to keep my credit card in check. It's probably at around a 680 right now, with no late marks. Jinkies.
Yep.
I started my new job 2 weeks ago. Nice. And have potential to make a lot, which is nice. Working 10 to 12 hours, 1099 though. Okay, so it's not W-2. But I am out of time.
So he went from one 1099 job, or like one contracting type job, to another contracting job. I wonder when he says 10 to 12 hours if he means per day or per week.
I don't know, because 12 hours a day is not sustainable.
No.
Not at
but he's
all.
also saying he's out of time, so like I'm guessing his credit cards are about to. I guess we'll go on.
I don't know. My last credit card is maxed out.
Oh, there we are.
There it is. And I'm forced to choose between my minimum payments or turning them off and destroying my credit.
What does he mean by turning them off, you think? Like,
I don't... that'd be nice, though. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I pause.
I'm just going to press the pause button on the credit cards. And yeah, I press pause. I called shenanigans. Mr. Debt Collector, you can't get me for that.
Yeah, just don't, no more interest this month. I'm not feeling it.
I'm guessing even by turning it off, I think he means he's going to turn off automatic payments for minimum payments. That's what my guess is.
Oh,
So just let them all just run to collections.
That's terrible. I intended on making the money, and I believed I will, but I'm assuming I do great, and I will be burdened? What is that? What was that sentence?
Want to read that again?
Yeah, I intended on making money, and I believe I will, but even assuming I do great, I will still be burdened. Okay, there we go. It looks like it's a me issue. I wake up every day and I go to bed every day thinking about this. That's a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm.
That weighs heavy on the shoulders. I do not have a lot of people in my life to ask these kinds of questions, but everyone who I have asked has told me to avoid bankruptcy. All I need is my car, in my opinion. Do I go bankrupt and live off my new pay, or is there some sort of solution, path, guidance, or method that you have for me? Please advise me. Thank you. From New Jobs Promise, Potential Gleams, but 80K in interest dims my dreams.
Oh boy.
Jinkies, he's in a bit of a pickle.
He is in a bit of a pickle. I wish he would have listened to our 12 money secrets long ago. This could have definitely helped him out before finding himself here.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully, number 7 is in play though. Number 7. We can recover from any money mistake. So
we can.
Listen, it might be the bottom of the 9th, but we're still in the game.
Yeah, we're still in the game, and that's okay. So it sounds like the big thing is he's always been a 1099 contractor. So he's probably in some sort of like sales role would be my guess, because he says it's like hell or high water in making money. But my guess is that his lifestyle was too far outside of the situation. So the moment the money turned off, he just kept on trying to run that lifestyle and keep it going. So that's too bad that he doesn't feel like he has a lot of people to talk to. Yeah. But it does sound like the people that he does have to talk to has led him in a good direction. Like don't just declare bankruptcy, because there are some places where you ask them like, what should I do? And they're like, oh, just declare bankruptcy. Like it's a get out of jail free card. You just do it. It's donezo. Easy.
Yeah, I did it last weekend. It's fun.
I do it every 2 days. It's fun.
Yeah.
Go buy whatever you want and then just do it. So I'm glad that whoever he's talking to did tell him that. And I guess the nice thing is that he listened to us, or he found the Fi Guys at least. So we are here for him. And even if you don't have people in your life that are right there available to you to talk to in person, building a community like we have here at the Fi Guys, it's a great way to still be able to learn passively just by listening to Dom and I talk to each other. We get to be that fly on the wall and hopefully passively pick up some of these things that we've worked so long in our lives to be able to understand without having to go through the same mistakes. And by being able to listen to our viewer mailbag and listen to someone who's made mistakes like this or has gone through issues like this, you'll be able to not make that same issue for yourself in the future. So to our listener, our first step is we first need to build a plan to address the debt without bankruptcy. I mean, bankruptcy is always an option that's on the table, but it should not be the first option. It's like getting a divorce when it comes to bankruptcy. Before we get a divorce from our spouse, we should go to therapy. We should talk to each other. We should try to do every single thing. It shouldn't be like, oh, you left the toilet seat up. Divorce. We're
Gone.
done. It's the same thing with the debt. So we first need to see how long it would take to pay this all off. So what that means for you, our listener, is that you need to figure out your lifestyle and you need to figure out a budget. So once you do that exercise, once you list out every single thing that you have, all of the debts, every single credit card, all the interest rates and everything like that, once you do that exercise, it's going to turn out better than you thought or worse than you thought and how long it's going to take. But without actually having those numbers, we're just kind of guessing as to how long it's going to be. And this is far too important of a subject to just guess at how long it's going to take to pay this off. So once we have that baseline, then you can start looking at alternatives. So maybe you need to come up with a thorough budget, and then you can actually start looking at what your alternatives are. But without that budget, it's going to be very difficult. If you just say oh, my expenses are just random, whatever they are, we have no idea how much we can save. So after we have the budget, we're going to have to cut down on your spending. We're really going to have to go to a meat and potatoes or not meat and potatoes, like bologna and bread type of lifestyle. Mm-hmm. You're going to need to know where every single cent goes. So if that means ways to cut down your spending is you have to do some house hacking or start bringing someone into your house to share the house. If you need to sell the car to get monthly payments down, what can we do to start getting cash in our hands immediately to pay this down? You can always look at another option. I'm not the biggest fan of this option, but it is an option. Is you can always do a credit card transfer where you transfer that $80,000 to a different credit card that you open with a 0% interest rate. And then you have a plan to pay that down before it goes. Remember when you do that though, there's typically a 3% fee. So for that $80,000, you're gonna have to pay maybe 3,000-ish bucks, $2,500 in order to do that. But that might be able to help you out if you're able to pay down the debt within the time frame that you have that 0% interest loan on there. And then the other things you need to do is you need to go out and find extra work, maybe work on the weekends after your primary job. I know your current job is 1099, so that really is hell or high water that you need to figure it out or not figure it out. So hopefully you're good at that job. And I mean, you said you've been successful in things like this in the past, so I'm going to guess you're going to be able to figure that out. But maybe even a normal job where it's a W-2. That way, for sure that you are bringing in this money. Because with 1099, it's not guaranteed. You could do really, really well, or you could put in 10, 12 hours a day, which first off, 10, 12 hours a day is not sustainable in any way, shape, or form.
No.
So you can't do that for that long. And if you are doing that, there's no way you're going to have another slide W-2 job where you're working something to make a little bit of extra money. But in terms of bankruptcy, I would definitely go back and listen to episode 32 of the Fi Guys and 32F, where we talk all about bankruptcy and the nuances of that, because it's not an easy process. So I am glad that people have pushed you away from it, because $80,000, while it may seem huge, it's not something you can't get out of. You can fix any problem. But I mean, honestly, maybe paying it off will make you feel the pain and hopefully not repeat it.
Yeah.
Because what I find is people that go through bankruptcy, they don't feel that pain. Obviously, bankruptcy sucks and it's all the issues. But that's why people that declare bankruptcy often find themselves in bankruptcy years and years again later. Sometimes it's for different reasons, but there are times that it's for the same exact reason, because they've never figured out the habits they need to do it. So maybe by not declaring bankruptcy, you won't find yourself in the same situation in the future.
That would be my hope. That would be my hope. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, what are your thoughts on this one, Dominic?
It reminds me of what you were saying earlier on in the podcast, how Ray Dalio rose to financial success that 99.9% of the world will never see, and lost it all. Lost it all. Now, he lost all money. He didn't lose his wife and kids, thankfully. But then he built it back up. He rose from the ashes. And I mean, I don't know the story too well, Chris, but did he lose $100,000, Ray Dalio, or 100 million?
Oh no, it was like millions
Yeah,
of dollars.
it was lots of money, right? So if a guy like, if a person can lose hundreds of millions of dollars and come
Yeah.
back.
So he already, so just to add more, he already had a successful hedge fund.
Mhm.
He lost not just like it was his money that was all invested in the hedge fund and all of his clients' money. Like he destroyed, like very bad bet.
Very bad bet. Yeah. And he came back though. He rose back. He learned from his mistakes. He got more money back. You know, he came back, right? And I think what I'm getting at is the perspective, right? One man lost hundreds of millions of dollars. Also, his money and other people's money. This person is down 80,000, a sizable amount nonetheless, but it just shows that you can come back. You know, you're far from bankruptcy. You can pull it. You can pull a clutch play, right? It's not going to be quick. You know, there's no buzzer beater to win the game in this scenario, right? It's going to be a long, grueling season, but at the end of the season, we can get ourselves out of the 80,000 plus and build the good financial habits and put ourselves back on track, you know? So
Yeah.
that's my take on it. You know, he's in a bad position, but he's got, you know, you can pull it. You can get out of it. You've got this.
Yeah, I think my biggest concern right now is he says he's basically he's going to turn off the credit cards, which I'm assuming we just talked about, which means I'm going to just stop making minimum payments.
Yeah, give up.
And I think a lot of that is because right now he's in 1099 work and he says like, I think I can make money, but he's not really sure. Well, I understand 1099 work is glorious because you can make a lot of money from it quickly, but you could also not make a lot of money. So maybe he needs to think about going to like a W-2 work where, yeah, you don't have the potential to like out earn your salary exponentially, but at least you know you have guaranteed income. Because if he doesn't want his credit score to go to crap, he needs to continue to make those minimum payments. And then once he has this plan in place, once he knows every single debt that he has and he knows all the interest rate, he can decide if he wants to go debt snowball or debt avalanche and either choose to take out the smallest balances or take out the one with the highest interest rates. But right now, it sounds like he's doing the spray and pray approach where he just throws a little bit of money at everything. And when you do that, you end up doing nothing. And I've seen too many people be stuck in limbo for years doing the spray and pray approach where they're just like throwing money at random debts, at random things all the time without a system in place. And then they never see progress. So without that plan, and you need to make it for yourself. I mean, you can go and find a debt consolidator. You can find all these things. I think a lot of that's a bunch of hullabaloo that's just going to, I mean, the amount of money you're going to pay for a debt consolidator person to help you is probably not worth. It's probably better just to put at the debt itself. Even sometimes the people that are the debt like specialists who will help you make a financial plan, I think it'd be most of the time it's better off just putting it at the debt and figuring it out yourself, because it's good to teach a man to fish, but you sometimes need to teach yourself how to fish rather than having other people just do it for you.
100%. You have to prove to yourself that you have the ability to save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the situation he's in. You know, he's not sure if he can make money. He's not sure if it'll continue. He's not sure of his judgment because at first he thought the initial job was going to last forever, right? So maybe his faith in himself is wavering, but he can pull through.
Yeah,
you gotta learn. You gotta teach yourself sometimes. Like Chris was
it's
saying.
funny that as we kind of go through this, that like had we met this guy or he heard the 12 money secrets we went over on Monday, like we touched on like money secret number 1, money secret number 2, money secret number 6, even the one that's like money secret number 7. What's the other one that we've talked about that is super important? Money secret number 13, prepare for unexpected losses.
Yeah.
Like he was not prepared for these unexpected losses and they came and they bit him in the ass. And that's okay. We learn from our mistakes, but now it's time that you figure it out. Like we talked about and please, if you need help, you can always reach out to me, Chris at Mons on Wealth, and I can help to walk you through it. But we've already told you what you need to do. There is no secret other plan. There is no government fixes besides bankruptcy. There's nothing like that. There is spend less money than you make and throw the rest at your debt aggressively. Because if it is high interest debt, there is no way you're going to out earn it in the market.
This video podcast is sponsored by Mons on Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monsonwealth.com.